Nobody knows it, but I'm about to come back bigger and stronger than ever. Yes, Tempered Safi'jiiva, that's me. Alright, I think I've waited long enough. Oh! Why, where is everyone? Hello?
Yeah, sorry, Safi. Everyone's gone. Iceborne's finished.
Seriously? And nobody told me, and I'm just waiting. I even have this!
Oh my god, what is that? Oh yes, my fellow hunters, what is that indeed? Well, it is pure Dracolite. And it is potent, much more potent than the current best in Rigid, worth 100 awakening points. And
what do points make?
But not only did we never get this pure Dracolite, we never got whatever was supposed to give us it. Now, it could simply be a remnant locked deep within the game files that was going to always be a reward from normal Safi'jiiva as we got him, but they decided 101 would make it just a bit too easy to get that perfect Safi'jiiva weapon, so it was taken away sometime before his release. But I like to think it runs deeper than that. I like to think. There we go. All right. Thinking has been completed, and my conclusion is thus. We were going to very much get an Tempered Safi'jiiva. Now, this isn't too much of a thing to say, because we were going to get more Tempereds. It was never the plan for Namiel to be the only one. Of course, we got Volcana too, but there was never supposed to be just two. That's too few. Where is Shara Ishvalda? Where is, God forbid, Elatrions? And of course, where is Safi'jiiva's? Well, I'll tell you where they are, with this helpful visual representation. Oh yes, I believe, much like Orochi Kirin and Rusted Kushaladora that I've already spoken about, the sudden change to include Fatalis after the surge of demand for him swelled thanks to his new model in the 15th anniversary size comparison cost a lot of previously planned content. Though again, would I rather have, I don't know, 4 or 5 Archtempereds or Fatalis? Obviously, Fatalis, it's not really a question. But it is also fascinating to me to be able to go, look, there is clear evidence here that we were going to get a Tempered Safi'jiiva and the new weapon system to go along with that, but it didn't happen, and it's very likely that was because of Fatalis. Normally when the game's plans change, when its content is altered, when those decisions do get remedied, well, you don't really know about it. It always just appears like that was always the plan, but they have out and out said Fatalis was a curveball. It did require things to shift, and again, we have evidence of that, and I think that's very fun to talk about, to speculate, to wonder that maybe in the middle of randomly February they'll be like, haha, you know what? Here it is, the interns have finished. It's Safi'jiiva Orange Outline Edition. Knowing Capcom, alright, it would be entirely possible. They do things so randomly, I love them, but why? In any case, what would Tempered Safi'jiiva have been had we got hold of him and his lovely, pure Dracolite, grasped it in our hands, and given it an awakening squeeze? Well, to me, we can obviously look to the very similar example of Kulf Taroth. And what did Kulf Taroth get in the way of, well, normal to Arch-Tempered? Firstly, the visual change, the actual biological change. It wasn't just a power boost. She went from a gold Kulf Taroth to a white gold or platinum-y Kulf Taroth. And that's kind of cool to see that it's not just an artificial bump. This is a different, albeit slightly, version of Kulftaroth, and has more precious metals upon her, and thus more precious rewards in the Kya weapons. So if you extrapolate that to Safi, what would a Arch-Tempered Safi that perhaps is a little bit more along in its life cycle, had more time to absorb all the enormous amounts of bioenergy, would he have changed again? If Xeno'jiiva is 1, Safi'jiiva is 2, we could have got like a 2.5 version of this line of monsters in Arch-Tempered Safi. Maybe a little bit less bright red, maybe kind of darker, or maybe more towards the blue, or in any case, I would have loved it to have given a slight visual difference nod, like it did with Kulftaroth, something that kind of shows the progression, or at least the possibilities of the monster. To go kind of out there, I mean, Arch-Tempered Xeno was after the Xeno that we killed, you know? He was another Xeno that was more in control later on in his lifespan and thus more powerful. So imagine for Safi'jiiva, if we had a Safi post-Elatrion in the timeline, he'd be able to go back and absorb some of that sweet Elatrion juice from, well, where we slew him, down in the burnt-out Jiva nest. And I'm not going to be like, yeah, give him all of the many-element unstable black dragon power, but it would give him a sizable boost, and we could just have a even more amped-up Safi'jiiva, bigger explosions, wider beams, a Sapphire of the Emperor of the Emperor. You know the deal. I want more for my... But with more for him comes more for us. So, what would our rewards be for slaying this lovely new Arch-Tempered Safi? Well, of course the pure Dracolite is there, but with an increased point Dracolite, it can't just be for convenience sake, because, you know, there has to be higher echelons to reach, like the Kulftaroth upgrade to Kya weapons that came with crit status and crit element. Well, for Safi'jiiva, there's a few fairly standard ones to go. Either add more than 5 slots to add your whatever you want to, or you make them scale higher than 6, maybe enable you to have multiple rank 6s, maybe a Arch-Tempered Safi weapon can hold 2 set bonuses at once. Even if you make it so it can't be the same one, it would still open up a world of creativity. At the very least, it might bridge the huge raw gulf between Safi'jiiva and Fatalis, because Fatalis really is a huge step up in gear. It really was a, look, just have this ridiculous armor, have fun, and go nuts, and everything else kind of got left in the wayside. For the most part, obviously element stuff isn't quite just Fatalis, but we could really have something very cool with an enhanced, more powerful version of the already incredibly robust Safi'jiiva system. Even maybe adding Fatalis essence itself to an Arch-Tempered Safi weapon system. That way you could have 2 set Fatalis and 4 set Arch-Velkhana for some really ridiculous Frostcraftery. I don't know, it just seems like a Safi'jiiva customization, but just go all out is one of the best ways to have a ridiculous open endgame as we move towards Rise, where nothing really matters anymore. So who knows, it might just suddenly appear at some point. Though, admittedly, because Safi'jiiva's already been scaled to 1 and 2 players, it might be a lot less likely, or maybe even more likely based on that, but it does at the very least seem like they've just let it be. That Fatalis cost a few Arch-Tempereds, a few other new monsters, and really gave the spectacle finish that we were after. And again, don't get me wrong, that is the best path. I am glad that's what happened. But it is really cool to imagine what wonders would have gone along with this pure Dracolite, and what a souped up version of the Safi'jiiva weapon system could have been. Even just imagining a slightly better looking set of Safi'jiiva weapons is really, really awesome. Never mind the armor, imagine Arch-Tempered Dragonvein Awakening. That could be some serious, ridiculous healing as you pound away at the monster. At the very least, let me know what you guys would have liked for an Arch-Tempered improved Safi'jiiva system. For me, I think the main one is just add more slots, because there is space there, and if you could customize it even further like that, maybe like 7 instead of 5, you really do bridge that gap while still making things incredibly flexible. Either way, like if you enjoyed this, subscribe for more, and I will see you soon. Goodbye.
Josh, Cotton, and Hollow with the videos, dropping the humor like a hammer on your tippy toes, bringing entertainment on a daily arrangement to take our insanity and turn it into entertainment. Yes, I said entertainment twice, to reiterate that it is nice to look into your faces on a mostly daily basis when you let us in your homes to make the whole world a stage. Goodbye.